I am indeed going live. Hello. 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 I'm live. What's going on? On the dot. 6 p.m. on the dot. Well, it's my 6 p.m. Whatever time it is for you, it's on the dot. Yeah. The sludge train. It's here. And it's fast. It's moving fast. It's moving real fast. And there's more sludge coming our way in the second half of this month with Andor. So that's the thing. Oh man. It's actually kind of warm again today and I don't like it. But hopefully that's gonna change soon in the coming days because I demand coldness. Because I like being a bit colder. So you can I don't know, wear more clothes or something. Just can be cozy with a little blankie and stuff. It's just nice and cozy. I like it. It's just good stuff. But right now it's kind of warm again. So there you go. Second Forge of the week. She-Hulk already in the can. You've seen that one. That was fun. It was a surprise meme encounter. That was good stuff. But today I'm doing this later than I expected to because obviously, if you've watched EFAP last night, you already saw me talk about this at length. But because I haven't done the coverage here, I still need to do it right here for all of y'alls. Because that's what I do. Yeah, because initially I wanted to do this yesterday on here on the Forge. And I was like, hey man, they're not doing an EFAP. I'm just going to ask the lads if any one of them wants to fleam around, join me. I was like, hey, Mupschley, you want to do the thing? He's like, no, I'm going to be busy with others. So I was like, alrighty. I was like, Fringy, do you want to join? Obviously, he was asleep, so I didn't get an answer for a while. But then I asked Rags, like, hey, Rags, you want to join? And that's all for yesterday. He's like, yeah, sure, sounds great. I'm going to do it. I was like, oh, cool, that's fun. I haven't Rags on in a while. That should be good fun. So I watched the episodes and all the notes and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. And then sometime in the evening, Free comes back. Oh, no, but, I mean, we're probably doing offline recording, so I probably don't have time. It's like, huh, that's awkward, because Rax said he has all the time. So basically, it turns out this offline recording changed into the live recording we did yesterday, so the live stream that we did yesterday. So yeah, I decided to just join them, discuss some more, have some additional notes for myself, if you will, and now I can put them in here with additional knowledge. So yeah, that's why I'm a day later than I expected, but that's all good. Good stuff. That's how it goes. Also, the fact that they released 2 episodes at once kind of threw a wrench in there as well. I think if there would have been only one, they probably wouldn't have done the EFAP. But there's so much content right now. They want to cover, and well, we all want to cover basically, because I'll be busy with all this stuff as well now, because I'm gonna do She-Hulk and the Rings of Power every week until it's donezo, and then obviously Andor is gonna be on top of that with the EFAP minis. I'm not gonna be covering those here. We're gonna do all that on the FAPs. So yeah, lots to do. Also, I have to watch more Star Trek for this coming week as well. So I already watched another Star Trek episode today in preparation. Gonna be doing another stream with Jay on Wednesday is the plan for now. Probably do another 4 episodes. So I was kind of trying to get ahead of that and already watch an episode today. Probably gonna watch another one after I'm done with the Forge. So I already have 2 done, so it gives me 2 additional days to get that done. So that's good stuff. Yeah, lots to do, and yeah, If you're not aware, this is not my main job. I work a normal job as well, so I've got things to do. Also, somewhere in there, I squeeze in some social life as well. Because this Friday I was out with the boys in the pub having some drinks, and that was fun stuff. But yeah, that's just all the things. What is a social life? It's a fun thing that requires you to make time for people because they want to do stuff with you. It's weird. Let's see what's going on in chat as well. Imagine wanting to wear more clothes. Well, not in the heat. Only warm. It's been a bloody heat wave here. Well, we had a lot of heat-tisms here as well last couple of weeks, so I'm done with the heat. But obviously the heat for you guys is probably even more than for me. But I just want to do this. Whoa. I would have thought being an internet weirdo was so time consuming. Keep working hard, Moodle. I will. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's fun stuff. And it's just very fulfilling to do things and get it done. Feels like you've been not wasting your time. It's pretty neat. Would recommend doing stuff. But yeah, that's what's been going on basically. Because if you might have noticed, the Twitch streams have become less, unfortunately, because I'm just doing all these other things, and I've not been playing a lot of video, to be completely honest. I think after the stream with Cult of the Lamb, I didn't really start another game up since then. I think I've flumed about a little bit with like random demos I found yesterday during the super chats on the EFAP. But other than that, that's just... I mean, there's not really anything out there right now I really want to play. Still have to figure out how to play the new God of War when that eventually comes out. Because I don't really want to play it on my PS4. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We probably will be doing a Twitch stream tomorrow, I think, and start that Elandra game finally. See what that's all about. See if I wasted my cash on that or not. Anyway, I don't remember what Sleep is anymore. Sleep is pretty cool. Not worth getting PS5 metal. Stop it. I want to play the game though, but I don't know. I don't want to pay $600 for it. To be honest, we'll see. We'll see what that's about. Yesterday was my grandma's birthday. 80 years old. That was a bit of a surprise. Not the birthday, but I was the one who paid, and nobody told me we were 6 people, so that was a little bit awkward. I was planning on 3, and then it was 6, so that was a surprise. Nothing I couldn't be dealt with, but you know. Just really raise the prices of the consoles to fuck you. Well, I can't get them in retails. I have to get them on eBay these days. I still can't get any on Amazon, for example. They're still not available to buy, PlayStation 5s. So they're just more expensive by thingy. What we got? Ooh, there's actually now some in stock for 800. Oh, available by invitation. That's new. But that's like 2 entries. All the other ones are just not available. So who knows what sketchy third-party sellers those are. Very good, very good. Two days of Rings of Power. Are you trying to have a stroke? Probably, yeah. That's probably what I'm trying to do. Oh, I didn't put it in. Can anyone put in the Discord that I'm streaming? I forgot to do it myself. Can someone be that nice, shilling my content so it doesn't look like I did it, even though it's now live on record that I said someone to do it? I'm such a hoe. Anyway, I was thinking, I mean, I only streamed like 2 days ago for She-Hulk, so nothing really happened that much other than the EFAB. I watched this. I went out to the pub and stuff. So yeah, was pretty good week. Was alright. Can't really complain. But yeah, now I'm here talking about more Rings of Power. So I have the whole series on record to watch. Let's see here. Just couldn't get enough Rings of Power. I know, right? I know. Let me see who added me. You can show. Rude. Didn't like Predator. I love the first Alien. We're watching Aliens tonight. Sweet. That's pretty cool. Where's my thingy majingies? There we go. Here. There's my OBS. I don't know why they made this into a show. Seems very padded with content that can be taken out. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's what we basically concluded last night. It's a lot of empty calories. A lot of things happen that don't lead anywhere, or just don't go very far, I should say. So yeah. I think I'm just gonna get into it because there's not a lot more else to talk about I can think of right now. If I will, I'll just talk about them when they come back to my mind. So, episode 1 is very exciting. So, we just see some elf children just playing, having a grand old time, being like children and stuff, playing some fetch and I don't know, whatever. Like everything was Gucci, it's all peaceful and stuff. It's all great, it's all good. We see Galadriel chilling in some stone, some rock, just folding some origami, making a transformer origami, basically. And they're like, "Hey, when are you done with the thing? Are you chilling alone? You fucking weirdo. What are you doing over there?" And you see that she's like some whispering baby magic in there. No idea, but could be magical, or maybe it's just she's just insane. Who knows? And then they go through water. It was like, "Oh, you think this is actually gotta float?" And as Mala was pointing out, she said, "It's not going to float, it will sail." And both Mutely and I thought the same thing. Apparently, it's like, there's no sail on that thing. Which was just a funny thought. I know what she means, but, it's just funny. But yeah, it's just like sailing, swimming, and then just turns into a fucking transformer and becomes like this swan-like origami floaty boat thingy. It just looks like this. It's CGI and awesome. It's like, whoa, look at her go, doing the magic whispers and making them crazy origamis. I'm not gonna play with all the other peasant children that make origamis. Something that can sail will also float, by the way. Stupid line. They tend to do that. But yeah, I don't know. The other children start throwing rocks at it for some reason. Because, like, how dare she does a floating thing? We're bullying you. And they just make it sink. They just hit it with the rock. And, yeah. All is sad. And then she tackles the kid who threw the last stone. Like, you're not gonna fuck with me. And he's about to bash his head in. And then her brother Finrond, or Finrond, I think, there's a D at the end. He's like, "Hey, you did the thing." No, he says something. Wait, Oh yeah, lost your footing again, Galadriel. It's like, well, I don't know. Looks like she was winning, but whatever. Also, I forgot to mention it yesterday, I think. What elven children behave like this? Like, I don't have any lore references, obviously, but would elven children behave like normal human children? Feels like they would be much more, civilized almost, and not like this bullish behavior. It feels really weird. Doesn't feel elfish. I don't know. They don't feel like elves. They just feel like normal human children. They're like, oh, look at you. You're just doing all the crazy stuff. Now we're gonna bully you. That's weird. They would not, especially not to a princess. Somewhat, they're a lot like human kids as kids, but they stay kids longer, if I recall correctly, so it varies. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. The elves in general in the show, they feel not very elfish, if that makes any sense. They feel like just some guys when they talk in the show. I don't know. I can't put my hand around. It's just a feeling, so I can't really make a strong claim for that. But just feels they feel too normal almost, if that makes any sense. More nitpicking? Was one stram not enough? It wasn't, Odin. It wasn't. But yeah, that's obviously just a little feeling. Never pictured elven children to be like this. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then we get this weird fucking dialogue from him where they go chill somewhere and they talk about the differences. Like, do you know what the difference between a stone and a ship is? I was like, yeah, one was made for floating, the other one is a rock, but you go right ahead. Like, the rock only looks downward into the darkness, and the darkness is vast and irresistible in the sea, but a ship looks at the sky and follows the guiding light. I was like, why did you say that? Why are you doing this flowery dialogue bullshit? It also doesn't have anything to do with what just happened with the boat that got thrown. It's like, hey, brother, you saw I got bullied? Yeah, but do you know the difference between a rock and a boat? So, I guess? I just don't understand. We talked about this at length yesterday. It's just so unnecessary, and it doesn't really follow. Because a rock goes down into the darkness because of basically like gravity or something. It's I don't know. It just feels unnecessarily flowery in what they say. And then Galadriel says that the water sometimes shines as brightly as the sky, and then you can't discern the sky from the water, and you don't know if you should go up or down. It's like, oh god, they don't know where up is. Oh shit. It's TRS again. Obviously it's not, but you know. If someone says go up, it immediately goes back. My memory goes back there. But yeah, it's just this unnecessary flowery thing. You get the symbolisms later on in the episode at the end where it's like, oh, he said the thing. And when she asks how to do that, you just see him leaning in, whisper something in her ear. And she points out, that is simple. And then he says, most important truths often are. But you must find out for yourself, because I won't be here forever. It's like, oh, you must find out for yourself, so everything you just said doesn't matter anything to me right now. So thanks for wasting my time. And also, what do you mean you won't be here forever? And he's like, it's fine, I gotta go, bye. So yeah, I don't know. It's very weird and flowery, and it's bad analogy. So there you go. So yeah, so they were just chilling, never thinking of any bad times, and then Morgoth came to their lands and fucked shit up, and they decided to resist. And then a legion of elves went to war, leaving Valinor, sailing over to Middle-earth. Oh yeah, because Morgoth just they burned down their Earth tree, so now they don't have any light anymore. Because I think from what I understand, there wasn't any like light yet, but they had a tree that made light, and then Morgoth was like, "I don't like your light tree, and I'm gonna destroy it. Fuck you." And then he fucked back off to Middle-earth. So I don't even know why he did that. Maybe just a prick. I don't know. But yeah, he yeets the tree. Everything is dark, and they were like, "We're resisting. We're going to Middle-earth and go fuck shit up. It's go real quick. Just quick 2-year war in and out. Just quick war, no problem. Just quick war. Just classic war adventures. No problem." Anyway, the war took multiple centuries. Yeah, it's just war. I just lost track of my notes. Yeah, they go do their war stuff over in Middle-earth, which is a long float away. We get some action scenes, some war stuff. Getting like a Nazgul, I think it was, fucking up one of the eagles, and then you see Finrond without his helmet because he lost it, I guess. It's definitely not so the audience knows it's Finrond, because how should we know if he doesn't have if he has a helmet on? But he very specifically is the only one without a helmet on in this whole scene, which is kind of funny. But yeah, they're getting swarmed by orcs and everything. It's like, oh no, this is bad. And yeah, well lost centuries. They managed to beat Morgoth, which they don't show us because I think the problem was they didn't get the rights to that or something. I'm still not entirely sure how this whole right thing worked for them. But they could show it, so it's like, yeah, we beat Morgoth, we won. We had a couple of centuries of war, and then we won, no problem. But yeah, there's still orcs everywhere, they're spreading, and his evilest follower, Sauron, is still about doing the big bad. So the brother made it his mission to go around and oh, there's the pile. Made it his work to go around and hunt down Sauron, but he was found first, so he got killed, and now Galadriel is going out doing the things. Also, yeah, we talked about this. I just want to highlight it again. I mean, technically, I'm highlighting all of this again, the whole thing, but you know what I mean. So this was like obviously the trailer shot, and it's incredibly stupid. The effort it takes to make this fucking thing is, you need scaffolding to build this. It's so neat and clean. Look how big this is. This is like 3 Galadriels huge. So yeah, if you just put one on, it's probably like more falling down and everything. Like, this was probably a lot of work to CGI, and also it would be a lot of work to accomplish in universe in the show. Obviously, I understand what they go for with this visual, but it's pretty silly. It's pretty silly. Does not comport with physics as I know it. Yeah, it's just it's a funny thing. Someone said, I forgot who sent the meme like yesterday. We showed it on the screen. It's like she had to climb. Imagine if she wants to put that one up there, she has like to climb on there without getting anything thrown down or something. Yeah, it's an interesting visual. It's interesting. So yeah, and yeah, when the brother died, Galadriel and some other folk started hunting after Sauron. And yeah, the trail just got thinner and thinner apparently. And that's bad. Oh yeah, also Sauron left a mark on the brother for some reason. Don't ask why, that's just how it works. And yeah, Sauron found the brother first, killed him, and now Galadriel is like, I need to hunt them as well. So now your vow is my vow. And apparently they take another couple of centuries just going over all the lands in Middle-earth and whatnot, finding all the leftover orcs. And it seems like everything is about to be good and dandy again. Because as we know, she's still around with her little army, her little platoon, hunting after Sauron. But as I said, they thought the trail's getting thinner. There's less and less orcs, and because there was no orcs and everything, everyone pretty much assumes that Sauron just stopped doing evil shit or died or something, because there was like no indicator of anything happening. Yeah, more and more believe that Sauron was just a memory. So we're just cool now. Yeah, we get this trailer shot as you saw in the trailer, where she climbs the ice with a knife instead of climbing gear like the other ones, because they do love that knife. You'll see that knife a whole bunch. And as Rags pointed out, look where they climb. Just look at this. This is like vertical, almost. This is a really hard climb. And Rags did ask the question, was there really no other way up there where you don't have to climb vertical up all the way? So like, could you have planned like another path up there? Because especially we get to know that they knew about this place, because they point out wherever they go, this is where the orcs went after Morgoth got killed. So I guess they checked this one before. So they probably should know a path up. I don't know. It just seems very silly to get up there. But it's a cool visual, so it's all good. I can imagine it pan over to a mining elevator. It's like, you could just go there. Surely there was a better way. You would imagine, right? You would have planned a little better. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then they make it up to a little plateau, and everyone's just like, we can probably do a little break here. But Galadriel is already halfway up the next part, and they're like, fuck me, you just want to take a goddamn break. But yeah, she's very good at the things everywhere, so there you go. So they make their way up, apparently, and what was it? Yeah, Commander Galadriel is leading them everywhere, but there's now doubt in the group, because like there hasn't been an orc sighting in years, and maybe it would be wise to head home, and because the other commanders might be right that the enemy is actually dead, because we have no reason to assume there's actually any orcs around anymore. And he also points out, it's like, why would we check there where there's no sunlight? Like nothing even can live there. And as we talked about it, how reasonable is it to assume that there wouldn't be some orcs where there's no sunlight? Like don't orcs thrive in darkness? Because they're like all these dark beings and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing to assume that there won't be orcs because there's no sunlight. Because they do like the darktisms. So yeah, he suggests they camp here, and she's like, nah, we're losing light, we're going ahead. So she's a very charming commander. That's great. So we see them walking through like a blizzard, and they have like a really really hard time to move. Like they go like in single file, and then one of the soldiers falls down. It's like, stop. She's like, nah, we keep moving. And then she realizes someone is down, and then it's like, oh, let me check. And then the one lad says, they should head back. We should be here by now. And then Thunder immediately reveals that they're actually here right now, even though it's been thunderstorming this whole time, so they should have seen it a mile away. But hey, whatever. Also, so let me show you how this looks. So they go like in a single file thingy. That was the whole overlay just clicked away. That is not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted. So you see, they walk like in a single file, and they can like only take one step at a time, and it's like really hard to do. It's like, oh man, this must be windy as shit. That's crazy. That is insane. And then when she realizes someone is down, they kind of forget about the whole wind thingy, and they just walk around normally without any problems. Because they just stand there, and then she just walks normally. Like, if the wind would be so strong that they have to go step by step, if you go the other direction, you would be pushed. So it would put your weight to the back, almost go like in an angle, so you don't get just thrown away by the wind. So yeah, it's really, really, really dumb, really annoying. But yeah, they found the thing and they go inside. One of the soldiers says that my hand is beyond feeling, because of the cold, you're cold, you lose your feeling in your hand and all that good stuff. And then Galadriel says, no, this place is so evil, our torches give off no warmth. It's like, Jesus Christ. Why would you write this? This begs so many questions. So heat doesn't work. In a little bit, we see that there's actually heat stuff going on with the mark they find. Does it only work with fire? Does your body not give any warmth anymore? Are you just going to zero warmth in your body and then you're dead or something? I don't know. It's really weird. It so many questions to ask, but we don't care about that. Then they make their way in the direction that Galadriel points out, because she says it's colder than the rest that way, whatever the fuck that means. And then you see like a little spooky hand. It's like, oh, someone's watching them. And then she finds like an ice wall, and apparently she's like, oh, this looks sus, and then just punches it like leisurely, and it just knocks a hole in it after the second punch. It's like, man, how strong are you? This is insane. So yeah, she just punches through. It's like, oh, was a door here, bring it down, and then they just bash it. So yeah, this is weird because if you punch ice, it's hard, and this looked pretty thick. So just use your tools you have. You have like these climbing gears that have like spikes on them, and like pickaxe style, or hammers on the back. Just use that. Don't punch it. That's so stupid. You have all the tools available to make it not stupid, but you didn't use them. So there you go. So they bring down the wall, check out the room. There's some orc corpses and stuff. One of them is embedded in the wall, and it's like, oh, they've been practicing dark magic, but hey, it's all cool. It's all this shit, so it's all good. And then Galadriel follows a single snowflake with her eyes, and it lands on some anvil, and then it does like a little sizzle. It goes like, sss. He's like, ooh, give me your water that for some reason isn't frozen like all the other things here because it's incredibly cold. And it reveals Sauron's mark. So, a couple of things here. So you see this. She poured some water on this. And then reveals this. So this all froze from the water. And apparently the only thing that emits heat is the middle part of it. So where the mark actually is. So, why did they do it in a way where she looks at this one random snowflake, which had to land on one of these thin parts here, so she can realize it does a sizzle? And it's like, Metal, how else could they have done this? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's snow in this thing this whole time. You can see it in other shots. So this should be peppered with snowflakes this whole time. So this should just steam and sizzle before they even get in here. Because there's like snow in here, so this should be steaming or whatever the fuck noises this whole time. So they could just do it that way. It's like, oh, let me check this out. It's like, oh, what's that weird sound that's happening? And then you can see this thing doing its little magic sizzle stuff. So yeah, it's really stupid. I don't know why they did it that way, but you had the things here to make it a bit more sense. Sometimes the solutions are right there if you think about it for like a minute, and you don't have to make it like this obnoxious visuals. Like, she randomly followed this one snowflake and noticed it does a sizzle. So okay. Have some snow in their armor, and one of them puts their hand near it and the snow falls on it. Yeah, that way. See? That's also way better than what they did here. So yeah, it's silly. It's pretty silly. So yeah. Apparently she says, or thinks, or knows. I'm actually not sure which one of those. She's like, it's a marker for the orcs to follow. It's like, oh, okay. Why do you know this? She must just assume that's the thing, right? Because she also says this is the first time she has seen Sauron's marker since her brother died, which I might need to remind you has been centuries ago. So they've been scouring the lands, killing orcs. And not only them, there's like multiple platoons going around. Like, we get to know that the elves have like outposts everywhere. And they haven't seen a single Sauron mark anywhere? Even though they know he was around? Okay. But she apparently knows somehow not only that this was a place where they hid when Morgoth was defeated, she also knows that this Sauron works as a marker to tell the orcs where to go. And she also assumes that she has to follow it north. That is a lot of information from this random marker you just found that you haven't seen before, apparently. Oh, whoops. So yeah. Sauron was Morgoth's second in command, right? Yeah, something along those lines. He was like one of his bestest followers or something. So yeah. And as Rags pointed out, good luck following that marker. You only have it here on this mountain. So you need to stay on track, because you don't know where it actually leads. You just want to follow it north. So you have to, I don't know, put it on your map real good. It's like, here's go point that way. It's gonna be hard to follow because there's like mountains everywhere. So I don't know. There's good point anywhere. It's gonna be hard. Gonna be hard to follow for sure. But then we hear from the other lad again. It's like, we have exceeded our orders months ago. We should go back and talk to the High King and stuff and have some rest, because we are already We're already moving around beyond our orders. And even if the sign is a thing, is centuries old, so everyone is probably gone anyway. And then Galadriel says that they also could be hiding themselves, growing stronger, perfecting the dark arts they already tried here. And then she says, no one yearns more to go home than I do. And as long as she doesn't know the enemy is fully gone, she can never return. It's like, oh, okay, so you're a liar. You clearly don't want to go home. You've been doing this for centuries. You can't even go home and regroup real quick. What's another couple of weeks where you can just go to the king? It's like, yo, king, I found this marker thingy. Might want to go check that out. So yeah, that's just nonsense. Also doesn't answer this lad's points that they already beyond orders or anything. So I don't know. You might want to tell the High King that you found this thing. Seems kind of important because that's what you've been doing for centuries. But you just don't want to go at all. Anyway. And so she decides to put up camp here. So they get as much rest as they can. We go further north. It's the first light. But then they get attacked by a snow troll. And the guys, like, you see all these guys getting yeeted around. Someone gets a snow block thrown at them. They don't really hear it at first. And yeah. All these soldiers get kind of thrown around and beat up, and Galadriel and the other guy just kind of look at what's happening for, I don't know, a good 20 to 30 seconds. And it's like, okay, now that everyone got yeeted around, I'll help. And man, they have like their they have their little special move they apparently do a lot, because that looks like it's been trained before. So you see this guy putting a sword down there. Looks like a little ramp, right? And he looks if she's coming around, and she steps onto the sword, and the other guy gives her a boost, throws her with the sword onto the troll. It's like, whee! And even the troll is like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's the little special move they do. And yeah, the troll's about to stab on one of the guys, but she slashes him. And I know, this fight is so lame. She does like all this slish, slash, swing, swang, thingling, all on her own, by the way. Pokes his chin, cuts his chin open, and then pokes the snow troll in the head with the knife. It goes like, poke! And then it's dead. There's also some really weird editing going on, where she kind of goes into like a stance, and then the next frame she's already swinging the sword, so that doesn't help at all for the editing of this shot. So she just soloed a snow troll. So remember the troll in Moria that the whole fellowship had to fight for like a good couple of minutes, while also orcs were attacking, and you had all these incredibly experienced fighters. You had Aragorn, you had Legolas, you had Gimli, Boromir. You have all these things, and they have to like synergize, and they have to take into consideration that there's like that they can get hurt, because a troll is like an actual big threat even to these experienced soldiers. And yeah, as I said, they have to synergize, and then sometimes they get like thrown away, and then they have to focus on some orcs for a while the troll is going after like Pippin and Frodo, and they throw stuff, distracted, and they all work together as a team. And even Aragorn and Boromir that were like, nah, kind of going against each other. They still help each other, so you have some character building in there. It's such a great scene. You can do so many things. Like, this is like one of those things where you do multiple things at once. A lot of things that have dense things going on. And yeah, they beat it, and Frodo even almost gets killed, but he survived because he got that super armor from earlier, and yeah, it's just a really good scene, and it's like a really mithril armor, yeah, that's the one, and it's like a thing of accomplishments, like yeah, we beat it, and then the something bigger is around, and Gandalf's like, okay, we gotta fucking move, because that's just like that was probably one of the lower problems we had. So yeah, there's like a lot of things going on, and it's really great. And this is just like swish, 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 health bar is down, poke, dead. Also, I didn't help my comrades. I've been around for centuries. So yeah, that's great. What a shit scene. Fucking cringe. Just makes her look like a dick. Because she just watched them getting thrown around. And then after, she started doing something. So yeah. Let's not forget the Dragon's Dogma move with the sword catapult. I like the game, but I don't think anyone would actually try that. Oh, that wasn't a Dragon's Dogma game. That's funny. Yeah, it's a really silly move. It's really silly. So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on this scene. It's stupid. There's the guy yells out trolls and she doesn't hear anything only till the ice hits half the squad. Yeah, exactly. Because they're not that far away. They're really not. I never thought I'd think Galadriel is a piece of shit, but here we are. Hey, listen, I didn't even think she was a warrior ever, from what I've seen, but here we are. I always thought her more of like a magical being that's like pretty powerful and magical stuff, you know? That's how I perceived her most of the time. But well, all the time actually, but now she's just this commander. I don't know. First time I heard that, I was like, I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. I was like, oh, maybe I forgot something from the original trilogy where that's been mentioned. But people were very quick to point out that was another thing. So there we go. Just because y'all hate Whammon, it's true. That is 100% the truth. Her changing into a telepathic elf from warrior is going to be interesting. Yep. I think they wanted to emulate that Legolas scene from Hobbit 3 with the sword throw. No. From the movies, I thought of her as a caster, guidance, magical person. Warrior is not what I thought of her. Strong? Yes. Warrior? No. Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up pretty darn well. But yeah, they have like a little scuffle with the snow troll. Apparently no one died in this scene, because they're all just still standing around. They seem to be fine, even though they got like the ice blocks thrown at them and stuff. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Then she tells the others to rest. Much first light, and it's like, well, you gotta go alone, because we're gonna put our weapons down and taking command away from her. So get wrecked, Galadriel. And yeah, that's that. They're going home. The order is given. Dies from cringe. Oh man. So yeah, there you go. And that's basically the intro scene donezo. Because now we go to Rovanion, the Wilderlands, something. I'll never remember those names. We see some I don't know, some hunters, I think. They have like some big ass antlers on their backs. No idea what they have going on, but yeah, they just see something flooping around. And yeah, this is where we get introduced to the Harfoots. I think people call them proto-hobbits or pre-hobbits or whatever. So there you go. Yeah, it's the non-hobbits. I mean, the almost hobbits. Yeah, I would be super interested to know in the future what the right situation was. Like, it's weird that you're allowed to do a Lord of the Rings thing in general, but you're not allowed to use all the names. It's really weird. That must be a nightmare scenario of rights, whatever they did there. But yeah, they're like hiding from travelers, and they think it's clear. And then we get this Sadok guy. As Rax pointed out multiple times, they're all very nasty and dirty and grimy and gross. You can see the smells. Yeah, he looks like in this little future book. It's like, oh, last time travelers were this early, there was the big frost or something, and oh, the little ones are still out, but it's fine because Nori is with them. And seems like Nori and the little ones found like a big place that has like berries and stuff, and they collect and eat them in the most disgusting way you can imagine. They get like the berries everywhere. This is where you see this move very fast, because these scenes don't really accomplish a whole lot. You see Nori is just taking care of them most of the time, and because she notices a footprint from some big old critter, which is some wolf, and she says to the girl who finds it, oh, it's fine, just a dog, but she's clearly concerned, and she even sees another wolf somewhere up on a rock, and she just rallies the kids, and they leave without a panic, and that's it for the wolves. That was the whole drama. We don't see those wolves later on. Maybe we see them in episode 3 or something, but that's it. She just calmly collects them and they fuck off. So there you go. And we also see, I don't know, you see those wolves in the little future book earlier on, but maybe something happens still. I don't know. I just want to know what this little future book is, because it seems to be kind of accurate to some degree. I don't know. And that's the Harfoot scene. We're done with that for now. I wish I had something to say, but that's it. We see those grimy Harfoots. They're nasty and stuff. Nori helps people, but she's going against the grain. We get to we'll be told that a lot of times. And yeah, that's all. We got Elrond though, who's writing a speech for the king for a ceremony. And then he gets told by some random lady, probably some assistants, like, hey, you're not allowed to join the next session because it's for elf lords only. And it's like, okay. And then right after, she says, oh, by the way, your friend is back. And he's like, whoa, why did you say that? What the fuck? It's like, said it pretty normally. It's just put it in prioritized order, I guess. So calm down. On the way there, he gives the thing he wrote to someone that's meant for the ceremony. We hear that speech later from the king. They see each other. They have like a talk. So he's like, oh, good to see you. And Galadriel says like, I'm planning to go back. And Aaron's like, oh, but I want to hear the story, all the grim details and stuff. And he also says that all the official stuff, that is time later. I want to hear like the stories of your journey. And then she says, why, Aaron? You have become a politician. It's like, what? I thought you were friends. You sound like you're annoyed that he's even here all of a sudden. It's like he just wants to talk to a friend. Like, just, can you show me a little bit of, I don't know, friendship. It's just, I don't know. And he just says, you make it sound so grim. And then he says, I'm not some courtier to be placated by idle flattery. I don't even know what they talk. They talk past each other almost. I don't know. And then she's like, I want an audience with the king directly. And he's like, makes some good points. It's like, okay, if you're being plain, I will be too. If you don't listen to the king's rules and limits he gave you, and that's why you men didn't follow anymore. What the fuck is that sentence I wrote down here? So he basically says, you should probably listen to the king again, because you already went past his orders, and he ignored your insolence for now. But if you go against him again, he will probably not be so nice this time. Also, this is the reason your company went against you. And then she just says, well, are you giving me an audience or not? It's like, okay. Very cool. You can't compliment friends if you're a politician, Metal. Get it right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing to get in between the lines here or something. It's basically, this is like one of the things that happens. Like when they say something, it's all the meaning is right there. It's like, I want to go back to the mainland, to Middle Earth, because I think they're still evil. I want to talk to the audience. Then Elrond is like, well, you've been going against orders, and next time he might not be so nice. He's just being nice right now. And she's like, well, but I still want to talk to him. I was like, okay, cool. Isn't she the most likable character I've ever seen? She's so annoying. Yeah, that's that scene. We go back to the Harfoots, because Nori is back with the children. Gives some of the peeps the berries and stuff. Her mom knows that she was apparently that was the old farm. And it's like, you're not supposed to do there. We're all safe here with the clan. And then she goes like, oh, don't you ever wonder about the rest of the world and all its wonders and travels and beyond here is so nice. And the mother just says, well, everyone has their places to protect, but I don't know, it's like dwarves have their mines, elves have their trees, humans have their fields. We don't have any of those. We just wander around and we are safe that way. So she wants to go to, they say it in like this grand flowery manner, and basically it's just like, oh, I want to see the rest of the world, not just chill with this clan for the rest of my life. And that's probably exactly what's going to happen in the show. So pretty straightforward. Gotcha. And that's it. We go back to the elves. Those are the scenes with the Harfoots. They're basically all that way, where they talk so many, they say so many things and it means so little. It's so lame. Now we're back at the Elves. We see the ceremony where the commanders are honored by the High King. And this is where we see that the thing Elrond wrote was for this ceremony. And they get praised and say, the time of war is over. You did so well. You're so cool. I'm going to personally suck all your cocks. And you're going to go to the blessed land of Valinor. And you can chill there for all eternity. Because y'all did such a good job sweeping the lands of evil. And obviously Galadriel is not happy. She's like, Cornflake's like, they're still evil. And the king notices this, but he doesn't go into it here. And I assume there might be a talk between them, but those two don't share a word with each other, if I'm not misremembering. He just kind of looks annoyed. It's like, and yeah. They're like really avert with it. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna give you a look. She's conflicted. In case you couldn't tell, let's have a look. See with Elrond as well. Ooh, what you gonna do? Anyway, she seems to accept the honors for now, and you get a little elfin firework because I don't know, they wanted their fireworks scene like they did in the Fellowship. Just for fun, find the transcript and just read it through. It wouldn't pass a 4th grade English study. Somebody sentence start with and but. Most dialogue speaks past the target to the audience. Yeah, that happens a lot in this show. A lot of the dialogue is not for the characters or between the characters. It's more for the audience, and you can tell. Hey, what's up, Swell? Yeah. And now we get to the one thing that has some interesting stuff in there, but that gets shit on immediately. So, Galadriel is paying respects to her brother. Elrond comes around, brings some drinks, saying, the wine for victory, it tastes the best. And he's like, I don't feel victorious. She now has her brother's vow to hunt Sauron, as her brother did, and I even want to refuse the offer to go to the west and the blessed lands, because I won't be able to rest and will go back, even if I need to do it alone. And Aaron's like, hey, it's normal to be conflicted after this long fighting you did for centuries. And he's like, yeah, it's happy that... And then she says, I'm happy that you haven't seen the evil I have seen. And Aaron's like, I've seen my fair share of this. Like, you haven't seen what I have seen. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You're a shit friend. And then Aaron entertains the idea that she might be right and raises the question, what would happen if she got that one more orc? Will that satisfy you? What if you're wrong? And it's just, I'm not wrong. And it's like, if you are, will you bring more elves to the far-off land to die? So basically raising the question, if you are wrong, you just sacrifice the lives of elves for basically nothing. You just add more bodies to the pile to convince yourself you have done enough. Which is a very, very interesting and good point to bring up. It's like, what if you're wrong? You have all these lives on your hands. And then he also points out no one has ever refused a call to the West, and you would be an outcast. And just like, hey, you just go there, heal up and shield, cleanse your mind and whatnot. It's gonna be great. You probably have, like, you fought for so many centuries, you probably just fucked in the head, which is probably normal after centuries of war. And what does she say after he makes pretty good points? Well, Galadriel doesn't address any of the interesting points. She just says, I wouldn't be able to rest there ever. The songs of victory would mock the battle cries in my head. It's like, are you gonna address the part with the sacrificed people and stuff? She won't. That's always, because Aaron says, well, you have fought enough. And if any of the evil stuff comes up, and it's to be true, I'm not gonna stop until I can make it right. Like, I won't stop until it is right. And I asked the question yesterday because I just don't know the lore. Apparently, like, if you go to the Blessed Lands, it's like a one-way trip. So you can't go back to help out with stuff again. Because I just don't know what this whatever the fuck is. Like, it looks like you go through, like, this light and then you're just trapped in there forever. I just don't know what the dealio is with that thing. We don't get a lot about this. It's just this cool thing where you can chill out for all eternity, apparently. So I just have to assume it's a one-way trip because she is very adamant to get out of that ship later on in the episode. Yeah, and he tells her to put down her sword, asks what she would be without it. Well, I would say she probably would be the character from the actual trilogy. But he just says, Aaron says, what you always were my friend. Aww. So, yeah. As I said, I like the points Aaron makes. But she's just like, yeah, no, we'll feel bad though, so I don't know. You could work with this actually a lot. Like, she could retaliate. It's like, yeah, but what if I'm right? Like, all these people that I might be sacrificing could be preventing another century-long war. or pointing out that it is weird that Sauron just disappeared without anyone ever killing him or seeing him die or something, because everyone just thinks he's dead. Yeah. At one point she says, "Oh, if it's really gone, why do I still feel this bad inside?" It's like, sorry, that's like a you issue. That's like a shitty argument. Yeah. So yeah, she didn't address any of the interesting points. So there you go. Galadriel is known to go back and forth between Valinor and Middle-earth. She makes the trip by literally walking across the water because she's literally got the most broken mage loadout. Oh, God. They shouldn't be victorious. They shouldn't assume that Sauron is dead. When he's an immortal as they are, the show makes Galadriel right by making everyone else less intelligent than the sea cucumber. Yeah. It's just really weird to me that they just assume he's gone. You can go back to Middle-earth. So yeah, just go chill. And then when they tell you, hey, by the way, there's shit going on, just come back. And later on you can't. Cool. So that's awesome. Let's see here. Oh, this is where the racism starts. We see some shady guy going around. He's like, "Oh, who are you?" And then he passed like two guys playing some chess game. He's like, "Oh, you need to play these things and then you win." So he just ruined their game. The show thinks that's incredibly, that shows how incredibly smart, intelligent he is, but it's just being a dick. But yeah, we get introduced to Arondir, whatever the pronunciation is. And he seems to be doing like a routine visit, making sure everything is fine and dandy, it's all right. So I guess that now this is the time where you can start to assume it's like, oh, I guess the elves are just kind of governing the lands, keeping them safe and whatever. Everyone in here is also very dirty and grimy, except the one hot lady, because that's the love interest. We can't have her looking nasty. And you're like, no, nothing, it's all fine, it's all cool, it's all chill. But then he has like, hey, what about the poisoning you guys were just talking about? And the innkeeper's like, it was just a patch of grass. And the fellow passed through apparently and said that his grazing's gone rotten and only weeds grow on it now. And then Arondir asks where he is from. Keeper says, I don't know, might be from the west, he didn't really say. And then there's some other guy in there. It's just like, just let it go, you darn knife ear. It's like, racism. Just let it go. It's just some grass. Your lot always lump us in with the people who died 1,000 years ago. And so just let the past go. And then Aaron is like, the past is with us all, whether we like it or not. Okay. At this point, we don't have any real context for what is going on. So at this point, I'm just like, they just don't like each other. It's just racism. I was very confused because we later get the information that this section of land back in the day was really, really cool with like Morgoth and helped him in his wars and stuff. We don't have this information yet, so now they're just being racist in a very weird way. But yeah, the keeper offers him a drink and he swats it out of his hand. Keeper goes in for a punch. It's like, and Aaron just stops it without looking and then pieces out. Yeah, he's so cool. Anyway, he goes outside. He talks to a girl outside that gives him some Alfirin seeds. It says, I haven't seen those since I was a child, which was probably 17,000 years ago. And he remembers that. I don't know if elves have like super minds. And she's like, I had to trade it from another healer. And she asks if you have healers with your kind. And he says, yeah, but they're called artificers. Or artificers. Something about their wounds mostly healing on their own accord, which happens to humans too. And yeah, I don't know, they're horny for each other, and that's it. This is a bizarre dialogue. It's like, hey, so you here got petals. Ah, that's from the tree, from the children, from when I was a child. Hey, do you have healers? It's like, what the fuck? What are you saying? What is this dialogue? It's bizarre. So yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. But yeah, the only thing that gets very clear is like they're horny for each other and they should just get a room. And then the barkeeper comes out. Arundel leaves, regrouping with his mate that he's also here. And he's like, hey, did you do the things you're supposed to do? He's like, nah, it's all chill here. It's cool. And then the guy points out that he needs to look after him as well. He's a troublemaker or whatever. And it's like, well, you talk too much and you smell of rotten leaves. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Those two get back to the outpost, and this is where they receive the message that they're being disbanded. The war is over. We're all gonna go home. And then we get this weird scene on the tower with the watch warden, watch guard, commander, whatever he is. And he basically just gets up here to be racist against the humans. It's like, oh, those people are still affected by Morgoth's fights and still have eviltisms, and they should be glad they never have to see him again. And then Arondir's like, yeah, well, this was a long time ago, Watch Warden. And he's like, well, I don't think the people changed a bit. Only the lands changed. Racism bad. Oh, we get to know that Arondir was a grower 79 years ago before he became a soldier. We get to know that the humans were fighting with Morgoth. Yeah. Anyway, Arondir apparently deserts the elves or something and goes to Bronwyn to like tell her that he's about to go. And then some guy comes around, hey, can you heal my cow? It's like, okay. And then Arondir comes around, it's like, hey, where does the cow go? And then he squeezes the udder, and there's black sludge coming out. And it's really gross. And it's like, hey, where did this thing go? For some reason, my Google just reacted to whatever I said. Yeah, apparently this cow wandered east all the way till Horondar, which is a day's walk. Which is okay. You let your cow walk away for a whole day's worth of travel. That's kind of nuts. But fine. Then we got Bronwyn's son, Theo. He randomly found something in the barn. Oh, he's also here with the one racist guy from earlier. He's like, oh, there's like rumors that your mom is sweet with the elf man. It's like, okay. And then he gets out the thing from under the woods, which he points out, like, oh, I randomly found this. I luckily stepped on this, and then I found this thing. And we see that is like an evil Sauron sword. I'll show it to you here in a second. Yeah, the thing is, in these two episodes, we don't get to know who that sword is from. I don't know why it's here, but he finds it, and it looks all evil and stuff. Yeah. I wonder if they ever tell us why this was here. I really hope so, because otherwise it just randomly lies around here in this barn, below this barn. The barn owner, clearly big bad. Well, you would think maybe Sauron learned how to fight on a farm. Who knows? But yeah, there you go. Yeah, he looks at that sword and he gets like evil Sauron visions and chants and stuff. Because like, oh yeah. Galadriel is on the ship to the Blessed Lands with the other soldiers, where apparently they all have to stand like this the whole time. That's just, they stand like this until they arrive, which is a pretty far off, pretty long journey. But you know, it's fine if they comfy like that. I won't judge them. That's fine. I'm cool. That's fine. It's such a cool sword boodle. It eats blood. It regenerates. Can't you feel the edge? Well, it doesn't have an edge right now, so no. Ooh. For buds. Then Elrond and the High King talk, saying letting her go there was the best for Middle Earth and herself. And Elrond did the right thing. And this king is just kind of sus, because apparently he has been checking out this marker, but it's fine. It's all good. But yeah, this king might be up to something. He might be doing some shenanigans. Because apparently she has set to the sunset, but we must look at the new sunrise. Also, Elrond has been appointed to work with the best smith in the lands, called Celebrimbor, on a project of singular importance. But I will let you explain, and he just arrives here right on cue, like it was staged. Oh yeah, we go back to the Harfoots. Sardoc is checking his future book. Nori is kind of listening in. And he tells her that the skies are strange, and tells her she is way too curious and meddlesome to be born a Harfoot. She's not like most girls. Did you notice yet? That was all the Harfoot scenes. All the Harfoot scene was. Bronwyn and Arondir make their way to the city of Hordern. They talk about how they were... It's like, oh, Hordern, they were known to be very loyal to Morgoth. And she's like, ugh, I can't believe you just said that. I grew up there, and I know there's good people here. He's like, God damn it, lady. He was talking the past tense. Chill the fuck out. He's like, there's good people here. And he's like, oh, that's why I'm here. Because you're the only kind touch I have ever known since I got here. And then they just kind of go up the thing, and only now, when we get the reveal, they get to see that the city has been fucked up. And just look at this. This is a catastrophe. This is insane. Look how fucked up this village is. Man, I really hope he immediately goes back to his elf homies and is like, hey, there's like shit going on. We need to check this out. It would be really silly if they just would go down there and just check it out by themselves. And also, she must be very upset because, as I said, she was born here and knows people by name. But she's just kind of looking and doesn't really. She's not very concerned. But that's all we get from them. Man, I really hope they address this in the next episode when they go down there. She must be real sad. Must be real sad for her. Yeah, now we're back with Galadriel. They start the ceremony of laying down their weapons and are about to enter the Blessed Lands. But obviously Galadriel is not really that cool. Still hesitant to let her dagger go. And then she remembers the thing with the stone that can't swim on boats that the brother told her. And then we get like a mishmash of stuff. The meteor from the trailer starts crashing down to the earth. Everyone's watching it. So now we have all the timelines aligned here. Can't take that back, show. And yeah, everyone is like watching it. And Galadriel doubts more. We hear the words whispered by the brother earlier in the episode. And they were, sometimes you don't know until you touch the darkness. So keep in mind, we're like basically on the other side of that ocean now. She's about to enter the part where she goes to land again. So she's doubting herself. And like, oh man, I actually need to get off this boat. And you might wonder, yeah, but how would she do that? That's crazy. Yeah, she just jumps off the boat with a dagger. No ship to be seen anywhere. And she's probably gonna die a horrible death. So yeah, that's it for Galadriel. She actually died. Sad days. The High King sees like a leaf falling down. There's like the evil sludge on it for some reason. And he's just kind of looking at it. He doesn't really care that much. And then we see that the meteor crashed a naked man right in front of Nori. How convenient. And it does the eye. It has like the eye thing going on. Look at this. Oh, Sauron. Ah. But that's probably going to be a red herring at the end. So that's episode 1. Very epic. Very, very epic indeed. Yeah, that's a lot of empty dialogue. Empty calories. That's what the title of the stream is. 2 hours of empty calories. Oh, shit. My microphone is blooming out. I might have to get a new microphone arm at some point. This one is just raising itself up all the time. This whole thing was like a snack cake, except without the tasty part. I think someone in EFAB chat yesterday said, it's like you ordered a pie, but it has no filling. So Meteor Man is stupid for several reasons. He's clearly a wizard, and out of the known ones, he's either Radagast, the brown one, or Gandalf. Unless he's an OC, which breaks canon way more. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know. The arm just wants your love metal. Well, that arm better pay up then. I saw my tweet. There are 2 different numbers for Frodo's journey. It is either 1,350 or 1,800 miles, and took him 185 days with rest included. And she travels further than Frodo does, probably. Oh no! And she swims it even to some degree. And we don't even know how long she swims in the second episode, because she actually just starts swimming. So if Galadriel did conveniently find a raft, was her plan to swim back to Middle-earth like Robin Hood swimming back to England in Men in Tights? Yeah, I think that was her plan. There was no backups. She just gets incredibly lucky in episode 2. And episode 2 has even more empty calories. There's got to be a lot of things where there's not really anything to talk about, because what happens on screen is what we get. There's nothing nuanced in between or whatever. It's just straight up fullisms. Let's see. Rings of Power Ep1&2. There's another problem with that scene. The wizards arrived on Middle-earth by ship. They didn't follow the damn sky. But Meteor Man! It's Meteor Man. Only 200 days of swimming. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Perfect time to use that Moloch with Thor giving a thumbs up and say, "You go, girl." that is a good one. That really is a good one. Oh man. Well, that was episode 1. So we get the intro scene for the first time, which is pretty lame. It's just like gold nuggets everywhere, and they just do different flames and stuff. I don't even remember the music. I didn't listen back to it since 2 days ago. I don't know. It might be more meaning later on, but for me it's just random shapes right now. And then this title, Lord of the Rings of Power, comes up and it looks like something completely different. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing too interesting. Yeah, we start with Galadriel. She's like looking at the skies, and then she just starts swimming. That's the plan. I'm just gonna start swimming. Might have some meaning, not sure, but it can see some. But I can see some things in there. I see. So yeah, Galadriel just starts swimming. It's like, well, I got a lot of swimming to do. Might as well get going. Yeah. So Nori is just checking out the Meteor Man and the crater. He's like, oh, that's weird. And then conveniently, the only other character comes here to check it out that wouldn't possibly say anything to anyone. Because no one comes here to check it out. People realize it's here. We see Sardog mentioning it here in a little bit, but they don't check it out. So these two are the only ones who check it out. And something we noticed yesterday, Nori kind of falls into the hole, and falls into the hole, and you need to look at Poppy's arms here. So she stands like this. Oh no, we'll see. Stop it. Look at her. She just stands like this. Doesn't move. It looks so weird. They probably didn't tell her what to do. Oh, they were like, just do this and we fix it in post or something. Oh god, no, VLC, what are you doing? VLC has been corrupted by Sauron. Should just got the Amazon footage. But just harder to get on screen. But yeah, she just kind of stands weirdly there. It's weird. But yeah, she falls in the hole, and she's like, "Oh, the fire is not hot." It's like, "Oh, like in the evil place or something." Okay. Then Nori pokes the guy. And he grabs her. Oh yeah, the guy just grabs her, just yelling and stuff. Fire turns off. Kind of goes into him. And then he falls down again. And the fire comes back. Doesn't seem to have done anything with Nori. He's just kind of yelling. And yeah, as I said, no one else is checking this out. No one gives a toss. And she decides to help him. Asks Poppy for help. She's like, "Oh, we gotta get in trouble for this." I was like, it's not your fault the meteor crashed from the skies. I don't think you'll get in trouble for this. I think you'll be fine, but whatever. And yeah, instead of asking people for help, what this might have been, get him help, get people who are far more knowledgeable about this, they decide to keep him hidden. They hide him, get him some food and stuff. And they just kind of build a cart for him, take him to a place, would decide him to give him some food and just send him along his day the next day. Just send him his merry way. Poppy points out that he could be something dangerous, and he can't be a man or an elf, might be something bad. And then we get some slapstick where the cart starts rolling down and they run after the guy, which is kind of odd. And they get him somewhere safe, lie him down, and Nora's like, I think this guy fall from the skies near me on purpose. I have to help him because I was supposed to find him. And Poppy's like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna tell anyone. What? What? Why would you think that? You're insane. You're crazy. But yeah, she decides she has to help him. She was supposed to find him or something, and just get some help from you people. God damn. So now we go back to Bronwyn and Arondir, where they check out the city, and they point out, wait, there's no bodies and no injured or nothing, but they find a hole, and she doesn't care at all. Even though she says, oh, these people lived here, and names them. She is not concerned. She is not concerned at all. She does not care about this. This whole thing has been leveled. And it's like, yeah, whatever. They're just checking it out. Everyone is, possibly all of them are dead. And it's a pretty big village, so she is not very concerned. But they found this hole, and Arondir says, oh, someone dug this passage. And Bronwyn says it was something. That wasn't man-made. I guess so. She has main character syndrome. And Arondir is like, go back, warn your people. I will follow the passage, which seems to dig towards your town. You know, instead of getting his elf homies to help. Whatever might be in there, annihilate this whole city. And you just decide to go in there and do a scout on your own. Seems like a bad idea. Seems like a really bad idea. But yeah, that's the plan. She just goes back, and he goes down there. But yeah, that's that scene. Because now Elrond is at Celebrimbor's hood, and he marvels at some hammer that was created by Feanor, the greatest creator of things of them all, and one of his creations almost turned Morgoth himself because he saw his evil in here. And Celebrimbor wants to create something meaningful like this, and he means to build a big-ass tower that houses a forge more powerful and hotter than everything else before. And Elrond's like, yeah, so what? What's the problem? Well, I want it done by spring. He's like, oh, that will require a workforce much greater than ours, than ever before. And the High King cannot provide this. It's like, okay. Why do you want it done by spring? Why specifically spring? We don't know yet. And no one asks. So I wonder if that's going to come up again. Why he wants it done so quickly. But we'll see. So the High King. Have you seen Celebrimbor from the Shadow of Mordor games? I have not. Why by spring? You live forever. I don't know. I just don't know. They just say, I want it done by spring. It's like, why the rush? Just fucking do it. Whatever. So the High King sends Elrond instead for him to assemble one. And it's like, oh, we should probably get some workforce beyond our own races. It's like, oh, how far away? Oh, we'll see. And then they take what seems like an afternoon stroll to Khazad-dûm, which I don't know. The scale could be way off, but this looks like it's a pretty decent way, decent path to go. But they have like the same clothes on and everything when we cut back to them. And it's only those two. They don't have any they don't have any horses. They don't have any security with them. It seems like they just took a little stroll over here. And let's be generous. Let's say they walked for a couple of days. You know? Oh, 5-day short trip. Yeah, let's go with that. You see, they have like the same things on. And yeah, they just walked here. No problem. It's just chill. Would be about the same as the Shire to Bray. Okay. So they make their way to a little dwarven entrance. And Elrond says, Durin is an old friend of mine. They will be greeted with horns and food and wine and stuff. It's gonna be great. And then he opens up things like, hey, this is me, it's Elrond, I want to enter. And they're just like, no, fuck off. It's like, oh, that's weird. Even after a second time, it's like, hey, it's Durin's friend is here. And they're like, nope, he made up his mind. You're not gonna get in here. And I don't know, they don't even seem to be curious, the dwarves, that one of the most well-known elves is just chilling here, came all this way. They don't even entertain the idea to let them in. I just tell them to fuck off. But then Elrond invokes the right of Sigyn Tarak, which allows him to enter. And he just goes to Celebrimbor and was like, just go back home. I'll join you in a couple of days. I will sort this out, no problem. Basically making Celebrimbor walk here for no reason at all. They just arrives like, okay, you can leave. I got this. There's no road to the greatest dwarven kingdom of all time. That's a good point. Sorry, I was just drinking something. Where would they be? Durin told them not to let them in, don't matter why he came. Well, they don't want Elrond in there. But fucking Celebrimbor is like this super great elven smith who is also a lord from what I understand. It seems like that would be interesting enough to at least like, hey, there's Elrond, we know you don't want him in here. But this Celebrimbor guy, he might be up to something. Like, there might be something interesting going on down there. But yeah, this rite, this rite lets him enter, and they make their way to the dwarves. Oh wait, no. So they walk through the city, and you know what? This city looks really cool. I dig it. It looks very dwarven. It's really neat. Here's look at this. This is cool. This is really cool. Looks really nice. I really dig that look. It's really cool. I think the music was pretty good in this part as well. I need to listen back to it, which I can't do now because of copyright, obviously. But I think I like the music here. So yeah, they make their way. We see the whole dwarven thingy, and yeah, it turns out that the rite of Sigyn Tarak is a test of endurance where you hit stones until you can't no more. And for some reason, Durin tells this to everyone, even though they probably all know it, but that's for the audience again. It is talking to the audience. And anyway, if you win, the dwarves grant you a boon, and if you lose, you're banished from all the dwarven lands forever and ever. And yeah, they start swinging. They start doing a little endurance test. It's crazy. Where's the... Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're 20 minutes in this episode now, and that's all we did. We went to this thing. He's doing the endurance with Elrond. We went into the hole and back home in the other thing. And Nori deciding to help the guy, and Galadriel just started swimming. That's all we did in 20 minutes. That's what I mean with empty calories. Yeah. Losing precious time here, and there's not a whole lot to talk about right now. So back to Nori, checks on the Meteor Man, and he's scratching stuff into a rock, and we hear like some whispering, like the Sauron whispers and something. The show is someone rushing to do nothing. Yeah. Galadriel should honestly be dead. Oh yeah. She's gonna have a bad time. But yeah, she says hello, and he yells at her with like an all-powerful yells, like "Whoa!" chanting, and like the trees are bending, the skies are getting a bit darker. And she just does it. Hey, don't you remember? I helped you yesterday. I won't harm you. Deal? And grabs her ear, and then he grabs his ear as well, and apparently they have a deal. And that works. She is not very concerned about what just happened. That was a very terrifying experience. But she's like, here, I brought you some snails to eat, which is a bizarre thing to give him. Just give him those berries you found, you fucking buffoon. She tries to communicate with the guy, but he doesn't seem to speak at all. And if we hear him talk, it's like in some foreign language. She even tries some sign language, shows him that she brought food. They're gonna have some kind of relationship at some point. I don't know. Harfoots are wondering when Nori is, and her father ends up helping with some heavy lifting. And this the whole thing is like a rope breaks and his ankle gets twisted real badly, and the whole thing is that she's gonna be sad she wasn't there to help, and it wouldn't have happened if she would have been there, which is weird because we see a lot of people around him that could have helped easily with this heavy log being lifted, but no one is giving a toss. Yeah. Because the rope breaks and he just has to hold it, and then it just snaps his neck. And I think it's gonna be another red herring, because he started, like, the Meteor Man is starting to carve stuff into the floor, and it's like, I guess they kind of implied that he had something to do with this, but that's probably gonna be a red herring. He's probably not gonna have anything to do with it. Anyway, Poppy is coming around. It's like, oh, it's your father, and they make like this whole big deal that he I don't know, broke his ankle, twisted his ankle, which is like, did you never have anyone sad before? Just build another cart. They did it for the Meteor Man. I'm sure you have like people that can't walk really good. You have elderly, you have children you have to carry. You can still migrate him. It's all good. It's fine. You'll be fine, and it's not your fault, Nori. You don't need to make a big deal out of it. It's fine. So yeah, Galadriel is still swimming, and boy oh boy, she's really lucky because she happens upon a raft of people. They're just adrift as well, and they kind of help her, but then they find out she's an elf, and they don't like her anymore. And they've been attacked by some worm that ate their ship, and is now here to attack them. And then the one guy we get to know as Hellbrand is detaching the one side of the raft when the worm arrives, trying to make him survive. Somewhere along the lines, they're like, "You stupid elf, it's your fault." So they push her off, and she just swims away from the whole thing, while the other guy's floating away with the raft, or the part of the raft he he detached. And yeah, the worm is here. The worm eats the raft with the more people on it, and then just loses interest in Galadriel and Hellbrand, and he helps her up on the raft, and they're chilling now. And now they're adrift with two people instead, only her. That's it. That takes like 5 to 6 minutes, this whole scene, and that's it. She finds Raft. Some of them help. Then they realize she's an elf, so they won't help. They get eaten, and now we have Hellbrand who survived and helps her, and they drift together. Just seems like a very pointless action scene and a way to introduce this character that we probably could have done another way. We're 30 minutes in now, I think. 32 even. Right. Back to Elrond. He's losing his endurance fight. And it's like, you lost, idiot. It's like, hey, can you escort me back home, back up at least? He's like, okay, fine. And this is where we get another scene that could be really cool. So they're chilling on this elevator, and Elrond asks him, like, "Hey, have I offended you? Like, what's going on? Why are you being such a meanie?" And he's like, "That would take a longer lift." And it's like, hey man, you could have the political opportunity of a lifetime here. You should at least listen to my proposal. And then Durin goes off him. It's like, there we have it. You only came here because you wanted something. And then he tells us, like, it's been 20 years. And while that might be a blink of an eye for an elf, I lived a whole lifetime in the same time. I had a wedding, I had 2 children, and you missed it all. I was like, oh shit. Elrond, you're a prick. Because unless they perceive time differently, Elrond should still be very aware how much 20 years is. 20 years is 20 years. It's still 20 years. And just, you should be aware. And the worst part is, from where he was with Celebrimbor, looked like he was pretty close there. He was not fighting in the wars this whole time. The war has been over for centuries. And he's apparently only been doing like political stuff. So he could have easily gone there and hung out for a bit. And if you would have forgot about the wedding or weren't available, you could have gone there in between. Apparently you seem to like this guy. Like, what are you doing? You're just being a dick. You're not looking good here, man. Like, it just sounds like you didn't really care to go to the wedding or the birth of his children. So, what a dingus. baffling, really baffling, the way they portray Elrond here. Jesus Christ. And you want, oh man, that's interesting. What happens next? Well, it's really boring because all he says is like, it looks like he realizes what's up, but then he just says, oh, I want to apologize. I also want to apologize to your family. And they're just like, yeah, okay. So he isn't really that angry after all, even though they pretend like he is. So they go to his place. And it's like, oh, don't get too comfy, and definitely no staying for dinner. We're now in comedy right now. We just had a scene where they could have a real big discussion about what the fuck has been going on between these two. But no, we just go. We have comedy now. Get this interesting shit out of here. Get it. Fuck off. Just go away. So yeah, he tells him not to get too comfy. Absolutely no staying for dinner. Of course, both of these happen because Disa is like, ah, hey, we're so cool. This is so funny. And then his children have like big helmets on and they walk into each other and they just have like a good time. She tells him, not them, about how they met, and she talks about how they sing to the stones, and it's like a life form and stuff. I just did not care about this part. It just wasn't like a how do you put it? It wasn't like a scientific thing, because dwarves are very practical normally, and they don't really dwell too much on all this magic stuff, right? But she goes like, sounds like spiritual. It's like, oh, we're singing to the things, and then they sing back to us and stuff. But I don't know. Feels untypical for dwarves. I could be wrong, but just my understanding of dwarves really doesn't seem correct, right? It sounds weird. It's not like we do sounds and they sound back like a sonar or something. Whatever. While this is all happening, Durin is still annoyed. Yeah. Everyone wants to leave, and he's like, no, you won't leave. You can stop this quarrel right now. Yeah, they make sure to mention that he has raised a sapling of the elves tree, and he has tended to it as was his third child. They also mention how people called him stupid to grow it here, even though it clearly has, light and water back there. Just look at this. Look at this. It has everything it needs to grow. You got light, there's water dropping off. You're fine. Whoever told you you're crazy for growing this here is crazy themselves, and you should banish them from your lands. Like, they go for this like, oh, where there's love, there can be good things growing and all this bullshit. It doesn't make sense. There's light, there's water, it just has everything it needs to fucking grow. God damn. There's fucking sunlight coming in here. It's clearly dark in there, Metal. Oh. Must be the brightness on my screen. Sorry. Anyway, it all just leads up to Durin going to his dad and telling him about the tower stuff. So this whole drama is just fake drama that they put in here for padding because they had time to fill, because it leads nowhere. It just leads fucking nowhere. It's pointless. They dangle this interesting thing in front of you, and then it's like, but don't you want to laugh now? It's like, no, can they talk more about this? Because this is, you want to portray them as like really good friends, but if a very good friend of mine doesn't show his face to me for 20 years and just comes back like nothing happens, I would go to this guy's like, how about you go fuck yourself, or give me a very, very good explanation why the fuck you haven't been here this whole time. Like, what? Annoying. Really annoying. So yeah, there you go. That's that scene. We're now 40 minutes in. 42 minutes in. 41, sorry. Oh yeah, Galadriel and Elrond are still adrift. They have some back and forth. She mentions why he let his people die, and he says because he likes to survive. And then ends up mentioning that he has no quarrel with the elves. As far as he is concerned, orcs chased him away. And then she's like, oh, where are those orcs? Because that's exactly what I'm looking for. And then more back and forth, says how much she has suffered and done in all this time. And then he tells her, well, I'm from the Southlands. And he's like, well, you lead me to these orcs. And it's like, no, I can mark. He doesn't say that, but it's like, I can mark it on your map or something. I just want to get out of this dumbass raft. He like says something. It's like, oh, just because you killed all these orcs, you're not a hero. It's like, again, some small interesting bits in there. There could be interesting conversations, but we have a random thunderstorm coming about, so fuck that shit. Oh yeah, when he mentions orcs, you see like the mark of Sauron pop up. It's like, flashback. Guess she has PTSD after all. Yeah, random thunderstorm appears, and she's like, oh, you better get ready. Yeah. Bronwyn is back at the village. It's like, hey, Hordern is like fucked up. It's like on fire, and everything is burnt down. There's no bodies. Everyone is dead. And this fucking moron of an innkeeper or whatever the fuck he is just doesn't give a shit. It's like, this area is known for sinkholes and vapors. It's like, motherfucker, whole city's burnt down to the ground. It's a day away. What are you doing? And then he just goes, the whole city is in ashes, and he's like, just not enough to bring those damn elves back. Fucking cringe, dude. And stupid as well. Really fucking stupid. Don't you want to check out? Don't you have friends in this city that's one day away for you? I'm sure someone in this village had some friends in that other village. They have no urgency. It's like, hey, there's something digging its way towards our city. It's like, nah. It's dumb elves. Screw it. It's like, fuck me, man. So yeah, remember that scene with the mice in the first episode? Because I didn't when this happened. So Theo hears mice again, and he's so angry about it, he starts destroying the floorboards. Which is fucking funny as shit. It's like, fucking mice! And he just bashes the thing. But turns out these mice Theo was hearing was like something else. And they already dug their way below the city here. Oh yeah, no, we're finally back with Arondir. He's been checking out the tunnel. Disrespect your surroundings. Yeah. So yeah, he checks the tunnel. He finds some creature in here. He tries to flee, and then gets grabbed at the end. For some reason, instead of fighting, he tries to run away. I don't know what he expected to happen. He found something, and then he ran away and gets grabbed. That's all we get for him for this episode. No idea what's happening to him. Bronwyn goes home, finds a whole place destroyed. Theo is like hiding in some little cabin. crazy, really fun. Fun? Why did I say fun? Really, really convenient that it's specifically her house that has been wrecked now, and not anyone else's. Well, he's been hiding. Said, "Oh, go get help," and then there's noises from the hall, and she hides too. And then some orc thingy comes out. And it's like, we know a horror movie for a little bit, like where they hide everywhere, and then they have like some little jump scares, and then they have to fight it, and they beat it in the most bizarre way ever. So they kind of fight it, they bounce it around, and then somehow that orc ends up trapping itself with something it's been stabbed by. So she stabs it in the back, and then it... yeah, there you go. So there's like... there's stairs, and somehow this fucking thing manages to get itself stuck on the handle of the thing it got stabbed with. Do you know how small the chances are for that happening? That's so lame. Pain. Absolute pain. So, while this is happening, Theo is like on top and puts a noose around it. Somehow. Just makes a makeshift hanging here. But then the rope breaks. And the thing is just crawling after Theo. And Bronwyn decapitates the thing and gets the head to the other ones. Like, see? There's things here. Now pack your shit and fuck off. Okay. Also, man. They start coming back now with raiding all these cities. Days after all the towers have been disbanded. It feels like they should have waited like a couple of more weeks, maybe even months, until all the elves are like actually gone. Because there's probably a shit ton of elves still around. They need some time to regroup and get out of there. Yeah, So yeah, she puts that thing on the table, and it's just like, here, see, now we're gonna fuck off. So you have to think, you have to put yourself in these people's head. So Bronwyn comes back from Horon, the other city. It's like, hey, that thing has been burned to the ground. All the villagers are gone. There was a hole that clearly someone dug. And they're like, it's fine. It's fine. It's just vapors and a sinkhole. Is it? If you're in that mindset, and you and Bronwyn, you come in with this decapitated head, you put it in there, would they be convinced now that there's still danger? Like, and I think Rax said it yesterday during EFA. I was like, well, if you beat the only one that came out of there, so they can't be that tough. We might be able to just, I don't know, surround that hole and just beat them up ourselves. Yeah, it's we have some very weird mindsets going on here, and I don't know if they would even listen to that, but they do listen, and they start migrating away from here to an elven tower or something. Now we're back at the seas, and there's like a storm going on, and they have to help each other. At some point, Galadriel is like, at one of the wooden parts, she's like, hold my hand. Well, she doesn't say hold my hand. She says, bind yourself to me. Just say fucking hold my hand, you weirdo. And then a fucking lightning strike hits the boat, and she gets yeeted off while she's bound to the wood bit, and she just get yeeted off. And she goes with a. Oh yeah, it is a thunderstrike. Hang on, I'll I actually wasn't aware until they mentioned it yesterday. There was like an actual. Let me find the thing. So she binds herself to the thing the sail is on. It's like a makeshift mast, I think. So she's like, "Hey, hold my hand." But not the waves fling her off. Not her failing or something. They make like the weirdest decision. And shit, where is it? Come on, it must be here somewhere. There's the lightning. Must be coming up here. There's the lightning. And come on. Oh, is it not here? Oh, fuck off, VLC. Oh my god, VLC is tisming out hard. There it is. Perfect. Look at this. An fucking lightning strike hits the thing she is bound to on the mast, and she gets yeeted off. What a bizarre way to do this. The chances of that happening, god damn. Yeah, it also should hit the mast and not like somewhere below it. The chances of that happening, insanity. But yeah, he dives after her, releases her, and she's been down there for a while, but they just go back up and she's fine. He's not coughing any water or something. She's like goes up like, oh, that was annoying, and they go back on the raft, and that's it. We just needed to show that he would take a risk to save someone. That's what we wanted to establish here. We're almost done with the episode, by the way. This is 55 minutes in. We're almost done, though. She woke up after being untied, clearly. Ah, okay. Nori basically tells him, like, hey, sorry, I can't really help you, but we're gonna be fucking off in a couple of days. I just can't everything. And then he gets, the Meteor Man gets triggered by the lanterns, which are filled with fireflies, which they use for lanterns, and there's like a fuck ton of them, and he just guides them to form a constellation thingy, showing them that he's looking for a constellation, and for some reason Nori thinks she knows where to maybe find the answers. She doesn't know them, but she might have an idea where to get those answers from. But then also Poppy realized that he's killing the fireflies somehow, so bad. This is probably another red herring. Yeah, you could have just pointed at the stars or something and put dots on the ground. I don't know. It's just weird. We'll go back to Durin, who told his dad about the forge they want to build, but he doesn't trust the elves, as they just happened to come here when we just found the thing, which we don't know what it is. But yeah, another quinky dink. That's annoying. It's like, oh, maybe he's only here because he knows why. He knows we found the thing. I think someone said it might be the first time we found Mithril or something. I have absolutely no clue. They just found something, and now they don't trust the elves because they think they want that thing. So yeah, they open the little box and there's like a glowy thing in it, and we don't see what it is. Then we go back to Theo. He's checking out the evil hilt, but he has like a little wound from the fight earlier. And then he sees like, oh no, it's soaking my blood, and that makes makes the blade grow back, and evil music plays, and all of the village goes to the watchtower now. Also, Bronwyn doesn't give a shit about Arondir being gone still. Doesn't care at all. She's like, hey, you coming? It's like, yeah, okay. And then we see Galadriel and Halbrand still floating around and seem to get picked up by someone. Yay! That's it. We're done. That was the whole episode. That was way faster than the first episode. Did you notice that? I say and look into the camera. That's actually not running right now. That's the whole second episode. Galadriel still on the water. Nori still at the same place. Now knows the guy is looking for some constellation. We got the Durin stuff that was a little bit good, but then they pooped on it with weird comedy and fucked the tone of the thing. So they don't acknowledge that Elrond is a horrible piece of shit. They found Mithril or something. I don't know. Arondir got grabbed by thingy. Village is migrating out. I think that's it, right? Did I forget something? No, I think that's it. I guess we introduce Halbrand. That's the thing. Yeah. Empty calories. There's so little to latch onto. I don't care about any of the characters. There's like no character that comes up on screen. It's like, oh, I got to see more of this guy. It's more like, oh, this character's doing something now. Okay. His first line is what looks can be deceiving. Oh, god damn it. That's his first line. Oh. So yeah, there's a little burp. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just so slow. We don't really accomplish a whole lot in the scenes we get. Everyone just says what they mean. It's like, oh, she's not like most girls. She wants to do this. I'm sad. Looks can be deceiving. I don't know, man. Man. I might have this is like the worst decision I've ever made. Covering She-Hulk and Rings of Power every week until it's done. This might be some of the poopiest double content I've seen. And I just hope Andor is gonna be okay or something. But then again, every time you hope for it, it's just gonna be shit. I definitely, after those things are done, I definitely need to watch a palate cleanser for the Forge. That's for sure. Need to do the Incredibles Forge still. I mean, I guess I get to watch Star Trek in between, and do that with Jay this coming week. So that's at least something. Oh boy. Yeah, we're not looking good. I happily call it bad. For now. I mean, we still have 6 episodes to go, but man, they have to do a lot to get me invested in anything. But I'm not very hopeful as to what is going on right now. Yeah. You just got to sit in your room and marathon the director's cut of Lord of the Rings and Civil War after watching the kind of trash metal. I know, right? I know. It's yeah. Of course, if you want to see even more in-depth thingy about this, we discussed it yesterday on EFAP with the lads, the Rags, the Fringy, and the Mupschli. There's of course even more thoughts and stuff that probably a bunch I left out and missed or forgot about and didn't write down. You know how it is. Let's see. I think there was a super chatterino. Let me see that one because I actually didn't read one. It was earlier. Let's see here. Studio. Supers. Let's see. They got elves all wrong at the relationship they have with humans as well. Well, that's good. That's always nice to hear when they do things wrong. I hope Hot D is decent tonight. We have 2 decent episodes so far. Yeah, I heard it's not awful. Oh, it's not awful. It's even like okay to good as of now. So hope everyone is enjoying that because I just have no investment in Game of Thrones stuff at all. So yeah. I realized earlier today, apparently the premiere of the new Rick and Morty season is tonight, and unfortunately I do not give a shit. That last season was so fucking shit that I don't care. I really don't care that's coming out, unfortunately. I'll probably check it out at some point, but I have so much on my plate right now. Maybe I'll watch it after all this stuff is done and maybe do like a Forge on that season. That could be fun. Could be a good Forge maybe. We'll see. So yeah, that's... Let me reload. I think that's all the super shoots. Ooh. Unless someone threw money at me here again. Nope, looks still good. So, yeah, that's that. Expect more of me with this. I'll be doing She-Hulk on Thursday, of course. Then Friday, the Rings of Power. And good stream, German. Let's hunt for that brown ring. Ew. So yeah, She-Hulk Thursday. Rings of Power Friday. At least that's the plan, unless someone throws me a monkey wrench again. Wednesday we'll be doing the Star Trek coverage on Jay's Twitch, and obviously those go out weekly on his second channel. So yeah, lots to do. But that's my plans. I'll probably do some gaming strumbles tomorrow. At least that's the idea. We'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. Can't wait to watch more of the Sludge Train. Woo! But yeah, thanks for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. And I'll see you all in the next one. Good